more tennis that you just can compete with the opponent. And
Yeah.
I was too little also to understand that.
From the very first moment that Jelena Rybakina stepped onto a major court, people noticed something unusual about her. Not the height, not the power, not even the cool, machine-like precision of her shots. It was the silence. A silence so sharp, so deliberate that it felt like a wall no journalist could climb. In a sport built on emotion, drama, and public confession, Rybakina moved like a shadow, winning, disappearing, winning again, leaving nothing behind but questions. And in the world of modern tennis, silence is never just silence. Silence becomes space, and that space fills with theories, rumors, and stories people invent to explain the things they cannot see. Because while most athletes today give fans a teasing glimpse into their relationships, their friendships, their heartbreaks, Elena offered nothing. No boyfriend, no partner, no late-night selfies, no hand-holding moment caught by a paparazzi through the tinted window of a car. Nothing. She kept her private life locked behind an iron door, and fans could only wonder what she was hiding, or what she was protecting. To understand how powerful this silence is, imagine being one of the biggest tennis stars on the planet, yet your personal life is a question mark, even to the sport's most seasoned reporters. Every interview, strictly professional. Every press conference, calm, measured, unbothered. Every attempt to dig deeper, a dead end. And that's exactly how the storm began. Whispers started small, just fans comparing her social media to others. Why does she never post with anyone? Why is she always alone? Then journalists noticed it too. Then commentators, then the tabloids. The truth was simple. Elena Rybakina wanted one thing: to let her tennis speak for the parts of her life she refused to narrate, but the irony is that this absolute silence created the perfect breeding ground for the loudest speculation. Because the less she gave the world, the more the world tried to take. What was she hiding? A relationship, a heartbreak, a scandal, or simply a choice? This is the story of how the most private woman in tennis accidentally became the center of rumors she never asked for, and never addressed. A story where the loudest drama comes from the emptiest spaces. A story that begins not with what she said, but with what she never said at all. To understand why Elena Rybakina's private life is a blank page, you have to go back, far before the trophies, far before Wimbledon, far before the world tried to guess who she might be dating. Long before the rumors, there was a girl whose entire world revolved around a single unforgiving truth. Success in tennis demands everything, and it gives nothing back for free. From her early teens, Elena lived the life most people only read about. Endless training sessions, cold mornings on clay courts, late nights traveling from one academy to another, switching countries, languages, coaches, routines. Childhood wasn't something she grew up with. It was something she grew out of. While other teenagers were worrying about friendships and crushes, she was worrying about serves, footwork, and rankings. Every decision her family made was about tennis. Every hour of her day was structured around becoming better, and every mile she traveled pulled her further away from the idea of a normal teenage life. By the time she burst into the professional circuit, she wasn't just talented. She was hardened, focused, and emotionally disciplined, not by choice, but by necessity. The tour is a lonely place, especially for someone who doesn't crave the spotlight. Weeks away from home, hotel rooms that all look the same, airports at dawn, practice courts in unfamiliar cities. The rhythm is relentless: play, recover, travel, repeat. Where in that cycle does a relationship fit? Where does love fit? Where does anything fit that isn't tennis? The truth is, it doesn't. Not easily, not naturally. Not for someone like Elena. She grew into adulthood in a world where privacy wasn't a luxury, it was survival. The more you share, the more people take. The more you reveal, the more you lose control. So Elena built a quiet universe around herself, one where only tennis was allowed in. Not because she was hiding something, but because it was the only way to stay sane under the pressure of becoming one of the best players in the world. Yet this kind of silence has a consequence. When an athlete shows no traces of a public love life, no dates, no flirty moments, no personal drama, people begin inventing their own stories. Her discipline, which she saw as normal, the world saw as strange. Her privacy, which she saw as healthy, the world saw as suspicious. And the vacuum around her life became a magnet for speculation. But the real twist came later, when one name, one relationship, one professional connection suddenly exploded into headlines. A connection the world was convinced meant more than Elena ever admitted. For years, Elena Rybakina's privacy didn't bother anyone. Reporters shrugged, fans respected her silence, and the tennis world accepted that she was simply the quiet one. But everything changed the moment one figure began appearing at her side more than anyone else. Her longtime coach, Stefano Vukov. At first, it was nothing unusual. Players and coaches travel together, train together, argue, bond, disagree, grow. It's normal. But with Elena, everything was magnified, because she gave the world nothing else to look at. And so gradually, quietly, inevitably, the tennis community's attention shifted toward the one man who seemed closest to her. Then the behavioral questions started. People noticed the intensity of his coaching style. Some called it passionate. Others called it aggressive. Clips circulated online showing him shouting from the player's box, gesturing sharply, pushing her emotionally in ways that divided fans. Some defended him. He's tough, but he gets results. Others criticized him. It's too much. She deserves better. The tension grew. And then the media stepped in. When several investigative outlets began publishing reports based on unnamed sources, everything escalated. Stories hinted that their relationship might not have stayed strictly professional. Rumors claimed they shared hotel rooms during tournaments. Whispers turned into headlines. Headlines turned into debates, and debates turned into a global tennis controversy. Suddenly, the most private athlete in women's tennis was dragged into the most public storm of her career. The WTA stepped in with a provisional suspension for Vukov under its code of conduct. No details were revealed, which only made the speculation worse. Fans, journalists, and ex-players all asked the same question: what really happened behind closed doors? And with so little information available, people began filling the gaps with imagination instead of facts. But then came the moment no one expected. Rybakina, the woman who hides everything, stepped in front of the world's cameras and defended him. No hesitation, no vague statements, no diplomatic dodging. She said he had never mistreated her. She insisted she had never filed a complaint. She credited him for being there from the very beginning. Her loyalty stunned the tennis world. Why defend him so fiercely? Why speak up now when she never speaks about anything personal? Why stand beside a man the entire tennis community was questioning? Her statement didn't calm the rumors. It intensified them, because people began asking the one question she would never answer. Was this loyalty, or something deeper? Then came the twist no one saw coming. After splitting professionally just before the 2024 U.S. Open, she reunited with Vukov later that year, only for his suspension to prevent him from fully returning. The on and off dynamic between them fed the fire even more. Reporters searched for clues. Fans analyzed body language. Twitter erupted with theories. Every whisper added fuel. Every silence screamed louder. But through it all, Elena remained the same. Calm, expressionless, unbothered, or at least pretending to be. She refused to confirm, deny, explain, or expand. And just like that, the mystery grew into something bigger than both of them. As the dust slowly settled around the controversy, something remarkable became clear. Elena Rybakina hadn't changed at all. Not her tone, not her style, not her silence. Even after the world dissected her every gesture, speculated about her coach, questioned her loyalty, and tried to unravel her personal life like a puzzle, she remained exactly who she had always been, a closed book written in a language only she understands. And that, perhaps, is the part people find most unsettling. Because in a sporting era where athletes overshare their breakfasts, their breakups, their doubts, and their therapy sessions, Elena stands like a relic from another time. A champion who refuses to perform the drama the public expects. A star who doesn't feed the algorithm. A woman who demands the right to be uninteresting outside the court. Even though the world insists on making her the opposite. Her dating life? Still a mystery. Her personal relationships? Still unconfirmed. Her stance on the rumors? Still untouched, unmoved, unshaken. Even now, with years of questions behind her and thousands of theories swirling online, the truth is painfully simple. Elena Rybakina does not want to be known, not in the way the public wants to know her. She protects her privacy with the same precision she used to protect her baseline. She draws the line and dares the world to cross it, and most never succeed. But this silence raises deeper questions. Is it strength or fear? Is it discipline? Or a self-preservation? Is it a statement? Or simply who she has always been? For some, her silence makes her suspicious. For others, it makes her admirable. But for everyone, it makes her unforgettable. In an age where attention is currency, Elena chooses invisibility. In a world where athletes turn their lives into entertainment, she chooses solitude. While others invite the world in, she keeps the door locked, Not because she has something to hide, but because she has everything to protect. And maybe that's the real story here. Not the rumors, not the coach, not the headlines, but the idea that a woman can reach the top of world sport and still choose privacy, fiercely, unapologetically, consistently. So now, the question falls to you, the viewer, the fan, the curious observer. Does Elena Rybakina owe the world answers? Or has she earned the right to remain a mystery? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if this deep dive gave you a new perspective on the most private woman in tennis, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves the hidden stories behind the sport. More untold truths, more unheard voices, and more behind-the-scenes stories are coming soon. Stay tuned and stay curious.